Hello, I'm Joseph Cortez, and welcome to my demo video for Lab4 for CST 336. Lab4 basically had us create a database with data files already made, and basically we took that database and implemented them into two web pages. So you can see our first task here is to log into your My PHP admin account and create the NFL tables. We imported the tables that were pre-created into the server. And the server is through PHP My admin. And once we log in here, we are able to use the import field to import the three tables here. And the three tables consist of NFL match, which is a table of basically games of NFL games. Then we have NFL Stadium, which is a table of the stadiums for the different NFL teams and their address and capacity. And the last table is NFL Team. NFL Team is a table that just consists of the teams in the NFL, their division, their conference, and also links to their stadium ID together. When we loaded these, had to make some changes here, and that can be done via the Structure tab. Basically, it preloaded. It didn't have the names here, so we had to fix that by basically checking all, changing the names, also changing the type of variables. I had to do that for all three items here. Okay, once the database was complete, if we go back to the assignment here, we basically followed the instructions in completing the lab, and that consisted of creating two web pages by implementing the database. So for that, I currently use Eclipse. I just like the way I've used it before. I like the way it feels better. So you can see here, well, let me go to the web page. This is the first This is the first web page we created, and that consisted of a header here, also all of the NFL teams in ascending order. When you click on an NFL team and you press the Get Stadium Info button, it returns the name of the stadium and the address. And also this web page created just information regarding the top 5 states with the largest combined number of seats in NFL stadiums, and also a list of all teams and their home stadium. Okay, so to do this, basically, we create the H2 header for the NFL teams. Then for the first item, which is this section here, selecting the team and getting the data of the address and stadium info, we create a form here, basically selecting the name of the stadium ID. It loops through the select statement here, where we're selecting the team names, the stadium ID from NFL team, and ordering the team name in ascending order. This statement here kind of creates a statement, prepares a statement for execution, and returns a statement object. Then we execute the prepared statement, and we store that data in the array that was then used down here for the team names, and we loop through that to display all the team names in the form. Okay. For the submit, this is the input type for the submit for that, and then we create a PHP file where if stadium info is set and the stadium info is not empty, and then stadium info comes from this language here, which basically is an if statement, basically getting if stadium ID is set, then we're going to get stadium ID. That creates a SQL select statement here that gets the information. Again, we're going to prepare the statement for execution and return the statement object, and then we're going to execute the prepared statement, and we store that as well in the stadium info variable. So scrolling down, that is implemented here. We echo out the stadium name, the street name, the city, the state, and the zip code. Okay, so that's really essentially what has been done in this section. Moving on to getting the top 5 states with largest combined number of seats. Here, of course, we create the little labeling. We strong it to make it boldface. And then from there, we're going to create the function, which is largest combined capacity. Of course, we got to connect to the database for that and create the SQL statement, which we get the state, sum the capacity from NFL Stadium, and group by state and order by combined capacity in descending order. And we're going to limit by 5 because we just want the top 5 largest combined number of seats in NFL stadiums. And of course, we get all that information in the statements here and return them. Once that information has been returned, we implement the PHP statement here, which loops through that to get all the information. And of course, we echo out the name of the state and the combined capacity, which can be seen right here. Okay. Next, we have the list of all teams in their home stadium. And that, of course, we have the labeling here, bolded out and strong. And we can scroll up here to another function, which basically makes this SQL statement to retrieve the NFL teams in their home stadiums. Of course, we got to connect to the database. Here is the SQL statement. We're selecting the team name, stadium name, and state from NFL team as T, and we're joining NFL Stadium S on T stadium ID equals S stadium ID, and we're ordering that by the team name. And then we return the information. Information gets implemented in the PHP section here, where records. We create a variable called records that's equal to the return statement from teams and stadiums function. We do a for loop to go through all the information, and for each data set we're going to echo out the team name, the stadium name, the state. And of course, we'll have to close the database here. Okay, so that's really essentially what the first web page does. And then we can look at the second web page, which I have here. What that allows you to do is basically create a match. You'd select the different teams. You choose a date of the match and any info you want to add to that match, and you would submit it. So what that essentially does is it adds a match to the NFL match table here. Alright, and for the code for section 2 here, you can see we have the H3 header for NFL matches. Again, that's going to add the header here. And for their information here, basically we create a PHP statement which calls the get team names function and inputs in the team names variable. We loop that through, and we're going to echo out the team ID and the team name. Okay. And then we create in that select statement here. That's for team 1, and we'll do the same thing for team 2. Okay, and for the date, we basically input date type, and the name is date, and include a text area of 15 rows by 60 columns with the placeholder enter match recap. That just allows the user to enter anything they want to put for the match. And then we have a submit button, and we name that add match. Okay, you can see the corresponding PHP for the functions up here. We got the get team names function, which creates the SQL statement, SQL statement that allows you to select team ID, team name from NFL team order by team name, and of course, connects to a database and prepares it, executes it, and returns it. And then, I know I'm pressed for time here, so I want to be a little bit more quick. So then we call the get stadiums function, which can be seen up here. Get stadiums, selecting stadium ID, stadium name from NFL stadium, order by stadium name. What that's going to do is basically we're going to loop through stadiums, and as you can see here, allows you to update the stadiums and delete them. Okay, and all that can be seen in this PHP fuzz here. Okay, there's a little bit more code involved as far as adding the match and also deleting it. Okay, and that's done again via SQL, and we're just adding info to a match or deleting a match. But yeah, that's really it. And then the last part of the project was I had to basically go back to my index and add these 2 items. But again, that's Lab4. Thanks again, and thank you.